Okay, you guys are flipping 2017 Premier Team. You guys, like, it's so flipping amazing, and you cannot get there by yourself. You cannot. So, big, huge pats on your back. Like, oh my heavens, you guys are unbelievable. And Larissa, I'll be seeing her and meeting her in person next month at NLC. And you guys, NLC, that is a conference that is a weekend that will change you, change your business. She will come away with so many golden nuggets and so many trainings and just so much amazing stuff. So I can't wait to hug you. I'm going to pick you up and just throw you in the air and twirl you around. I love meeting you guys in person. Seriously, love it more than anything.
Wait. Great.
Zoom is one thing, but I'm like, oh my heavens, I cannot wait. So guys, I'm going to get right to it. So I'm going to mute you all. I'm going to share my screen, and you guys, if you have questions, I'm going to go through the whole presentation, but if you have questions, throw them into the chat or just write them down. We'll go over everything afterwards. Because when you can learn the Elite Premier program, like the back in front of your hand, you guys, it's the recipe for success. It's the recipe of, okay, this is how I do it. All right. When we get hired on a corporate, it's like a couple of 2 or 3 months training, and it's like, but they want you to focus on Elite so much. They're like, no Elite, like the back and front of your hand. And I remember like going home and I'd be like having nightmares about Elite. I'd be like, ATV, XYW, PSPV. But now I'm like, oh, I know like the back of my hand. And when it clicks, and it's so easy. So you guys, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, this is how we created the Elite and Premier Goal Guide. Is we here at corporate, we looked at all of the top coaches. We looked at all the coaches who are growing their income, growing their volume, growing their teams, advancing, and we're like, what are they all doing? This is what we came up with. They're all doing this. This is how they're all successful. So then we created this. So you guys, in order to be a 2017 Premier coach, and I'm going to talk about Premier because you guys, I think when we talk about Elite, it seems so far out of reach that you're like, oh my gosh, like 5-star, it seems so far out of reach that it's the start that stops most people. In our 2017 execution and strategy meeting we had off-site a couple weeks ago, we're like, we focus way too much on Elite. We're like, Elite, 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 Elite. When Premier is every bit as big, huge of a deal. You guys, oh my heavens. And we're like, we've got to focus on this more because this is the stepping stone to Elite. If you can become Premier in your first 2 or 3 years, wow. Oh my heavens. You guys, seriously. So this is how you become Premier. The requirements are these. Number 1, you must be a paid 2-star diamond or higher for at least 1 bonus week in December 2017. The bonus weeks that count, this little asterisk right here, these are the bonus weeks that count, all right? December 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th, all right? Did I push record? Hold on, let me make sure I push record. Oh yeah, I did. Sometimes I'm always like, sometimes I'll have a big, huge sticky note that says record, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to push record. Okay, here we go, sorry. Okay, so you guys, these bonus weeks are the weeks that count. Let me tell you a super sad story that broke my heart. One of my coaches became 2-star, had all of her Elite points, had all the requirements, but she came 2-star December 1st. That wasn't a bonus week. December 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, those were bonus weeks. All right? She lost it. She couldn't get it back. She had everything on December 1st, but it wasn't the bonus week that counted. So you guys, there were 5 bonus weeks last in December, just barely. Only 4 of them counted. But you know what? They used to have only 1 bonus week that counted, and that was the very last Thursday of the month in December. Let me just tell you, you could hold whatever rank, whatever, for 51 weeks. But if you didn't hold it for that 52 week, it didn't matter. And so you guys, we're like, oh my gosh, we're giving people like twitches in their eye, their gray hair's growing, we're giving people wrinkles like crazy. That's why I always say, that's why we do Derma Exclusive too, is because all these wrinkles we get from all this stress, and I get too because I'm stressed out for you guys. Like we have to have this Derma Exclusive to take our wrinkles away. There's a method to their madness. But you guys, I wish so bad that the year started from March to March, but it doesn't. It starts from January to the end of December. So these are the bonus weeks that count. If you hit it, every requirement on the 6th, You are done. You are done. You are just like, okay, you've hit it. You just have to have all of these requirements on one of these bonus weeks. All right. Number 2, you have to have a minimum of 2 personally sponsored coaches reach diamond or higher for the first time in 2017 and have at least 2 of them hold the rank of diamond or higher at least 1 bonus week in December 2017. All right, so here are the bonus weeks again. Let me tell you a super sad story. I had a coach who'd been a coach for 4 years. She finally decided, like, okay, I'm kicking it a year. I'm becoming premier this year. You guys, she was 2-star. She had all of her elite points. She actually had like 150 or 160. She had all of her elite points. Guess what? She only ranked advanced 1 diamond, 1 new personally sponsored diamond. She was 2-star, but they have to be 2 new personally sponsored diamonds per year. All right. So you can be 5-star. I can't tell you how many coaches were 5-star, 10-star, 15-star, but they didn't rank advanced 2 new personally sponsored coaches that year. So they didn't have the requirements. So you guys, these coaches who are like 2, 5, 10 times elite, they are working every bit as hard as you because they're having to do all of these requirements every single year. All right. Doesn't matter if you're a 10-star, have all the elite points in the world. If you didn't advance 2 new personally sponsored coaches to diamond or higher for the first time in that year, in 2017, then you're not elite or premier. All right. The next requirement is you have to earn a total of 135 elite points from any combination from the 4 elite point categories. All right. So the difference between being a premier coach and elite is for a premier coach, you have to be at least 2-star diamond or higher, and you have to have a total of 135 elite points. It doesn't matter which category they come from. With elite, you have to be at least 5-star diamond or higher, and you have to have a total of 135 points. But there's minimums and maximums for the different categories. All right, so you guys, that's pretty much the only difference. But we're not going to talk about elite. We're going to talk about premier. This is the way you earn those 135 elite points. All right, we don't care which category they come from. They can all come from 1 category. They can all come from 2 categories, whatever. We just want you to have a total of 135. So the first category is your Success Club points. All right. You get your points from coaches from last year, 2016, or this year, 2017, hitting Success Club. All right. Say, for example, in January, you have 1 coach hit Success Club. You also hit it because hitting Success Club for you guys is non-negotiable. That should be a non-negotiable for you. You hit Success Club every single month. When you hit it also, you get to double those points. So that 1 coach that hit it, you either times it by 2 because you hit it also, you get 2 elite points. Say, for example, you have 0 coaches who hit Success Club, but you still hit it. 0 times 2 is still 0. Yeah, dang it. So the only way you get points is if your 2016 or 2017 personally sponsored coaches hit Success Club. All right. Let me tell you an awesome story though. I had a coach last year. Her name was Jamie. She became diamond I think it was March or April. So I called her because she had all these elite points. She had a ton of elite points. I called her and I was like, Jamie, I was like, when did you become a coach? She goes, I became a coach in January of just this year. She went diamond in a couple months. And I was like, that is so awesome. I'm like, perfect. She had a few points from the Success Club, but most of her points were coming from theirs. All right. I said, all right, how many coaches do you have in the Success Club every single month? And she goes, Lacey, she's like, I've had 1 the last 3 months. That is it. She's like, I really don't have any. I don't really have any coaches really that are working. I built my diamond off of discount coaches. And I was like, all right. I'm like, that's totally great. That's totally fine. I'm like, this month I want you to work on helping 1 coach hit Success Club. She's like, all right. The next month we spoke and she goes, Lace, guess what? I helped a coach hit Success Club. And I was like, awesome, that's so great. I go, all right, this month, help 2. The next month we talk, Lace, I helped 2 coaches hit Success Club. She's like, that's so amazing. That's so awesome. I'm like, all right, now this month, focus on helping 3. You guys, she went from having an SC base of 0, which means how many coaches you're helping hit Success Club every single month, to having an SC base of 4 by the end of the year. All right. She went from having 0 coaches to hit it to 4 on average per month. And she goes, Lace, I was on the phone where I was on a team call with Christina Delgado, and she was talking about how she had an SC base of 10. And she goes, I thought for sure she was leaving off like a 0 or 2 zeros or 3 zeros. There is no way a top coach in the network has an SC base of just 10. Guess what? Christina Delgado, a top coach in the network who you saw at Summit, she has an SC base of 10. She only has on average 10 coaches hitting Success Club per month. You guys, these Melanie Mitchells, these Amy Silvermans, these Bonnie Ingalls, these Christina Delgados, they don't have outrageous SC base numbers. They have SC bases of like 10, of 12, of 15. My coach, Jamie, she had an SC base of 4. She was 6 people away from having the same SC base as the top coach in the network. Larissa, I remember you had 3. You had an SC base of 3. That is huge. Like, oh my heavens. It's just like this. How do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. You can't eat the whole thing. So thinking of having an SC base of like 10, that is so overwhelming. So you know what? Focus on having an SC base of 1. When you get that, focus on having an SC base of 2. Try to increase it 1 per month than you did last month, you guys, and you'll be just fine. So we lay this out to say, all right, focus on helping at least 1 coach per month the first beginning months. Then try to help 2. Then try to help 3. All right? You'll build that 1 coach per time. And before you know it, you'll be a top coach network with an SC base of 10. 1 bite at a time. Okay, guys, the second way is your personally sponsored coach's personal volume. All right? It's your PSPV. That's the volume that comes from your personally sponsored coaches from just this year. Only 2017 coaches count for this category. All right? For every 500 in PSPV, you get 1 elite point. All right? For every 500 PSPV, you get 1 elite point. Say, for example, you bring in 1 coach in January. Their PSPV totals 300. Divide that by 500, you still get 0. Say in February, you bring in 1 more coach. So between the coach you brought in January and the coach you brought in February, it totals 600 PSPV. Divide that by 500, you get 1 elite point, and that extra 100 carries over. It's a rolling total, you guys. It's a rolling total. You never, ever lose any PSPV. It's a rolling total. For every 500, it drops off, and you get an elite point. It's a rolling total. I always say these beginning months, these January, February, March, April, May, June, these beginning months, they're so critical in bringing new coaches in. You guys, PSPV is volume from your coaches and your discount coaches. It's all the volume. Coaches, discount coaches, whatever. These beginning months are so critical because a coach you bring in January will help you January, February, March, April. They'll help you all year long. When they're on Shakeology Home Direct, that HD, every single time their Shakeology ships, that's what, about 90 more PV. So this coach in January will help you here, here, here. They'll help you all year long. Because let me tell you what happens. In January, February, March, these critical months, people are like, what the heck? I thought January would be amazing. Like, it's New Year's resolution time. Like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just not getting any business. It's the work you put in October, November, December. It's going to pay off these. Amy Silverman said it best when she said, you guys, I'm not at SC 100 because of the work I put in today or yesterday or last month or last year. It's the work I put in every single day over the last 5 years. You guys, it's so important to show up every single day. Melanie Mitchell, #1 coach in the network. There is nothing special about her. She's just the most consistent person I've ever seen on the planet. That I've ever seen on the planet. So guys, it's all about consistency. It's all about showing up every single day. It's a delayed reaction business. So the work you put in today, you're not going to see the fruits of your labor tomorrow or the next day, or next week, or next month. It might not be until next year or 5 years from now. But it'll come. You will see the fruits of your labor. All right? So you guys just focus on 1 day at a time. Focus on showing up 1 day at a time. I compare it to this. You would never save all 7 workouts for 1 day. Heck no. Who wants to do 7 workouts in 1 day? I mean, sometimes it's hard to do 1. You would never save all 7 workouts for 1 day. You do a little bit every single day. You did 1 workout per day. All right? So every single day, focus on your vital behaviors. Every single day, I always say make sure you're doing the Fantastic 4 daily. And the Fantastic Four daily are adding people to your network, connecting with people, inviting people to something, whether it's to a free group or a challenge group or a sneak peek, inviting people to something, and then following up. Those are the Fantastic Four. If you do daily, then you're not going to be all of a sudden, it's going to be like, oh geez, I didn't do them today, and then I'm not going to do them tomorrow, and then I'm going to be gone next week, and then before you know it, like a month's gone by, and your business is going like this. So if you do a little bit every single day, it doesn't sound like a lot. Okay, so that's your PSPV. This next category, I am so happy they added. You guys, this is the customer personal volume. It's your personally sponsored customers' personal volume. It works just like the PSPV, but this is for coaches. This is for customers. What we found last year, I totally got laryngitis on Monday. Couldn't even talk. Could not even talk. That's hard for me because I love to talk. Okay, last year we saw coaches bringing in tons of coaches, just bringing them in. We saw those coaches leaving just as fast as they were coming in. Because I think we got away from the challenge groups and I think we got away from helping people get results and helping them have that transformation. When a customer gets results, have that transformation, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever kind of transformation, they want to stand from the rooftops to shout for all to hear that Beachbody changed their life. The programs, the products, the accountability, support groups, it changed their life, and they want to share with the world. You can't know me without knowing about Beachbody nowadays. I'm a Beachbody for lifer. I totally am. You guys, 71% of all coaches were challengers first. Your challengers who had a transformation, those make your best coaches. They add in this category because we got too unfocused on what the bread and butter is, what the bread and butter of our business is, what made us so successful. And that was our challenge groups. You guys, Beachbody has it all figured out. They have all three pieces. They have the most amazing products, the most amazing fitness programs, but they have the accountability support groups that come from you coaches. We have it figured out. And you guys, we get people to change from the inside out. We get people to change what's between these two ears. The mind can be the biggest asset or the biggest liability. If you're not doing personal development, start doing it yesterday. I was not a believer in personal development. I'm like, I just like to read love stories when I read. I just want to read love stories. I want to live in a fantasy world, you know. You guys, Beachbody changed my life. Oh my heavens. And it was because the personal development. Now my day is not complete without personal development. I love it. I love it. So you guys, same thing with PSPV, CPV. For every 500 in customer personal volume from customers just this year, you get 1 elite point. All right, for every 500 CPV. So say, for example, in January, you bring in 2 customers and it totals 200 CPV. Divide that by 500, you still get 0. Between last month and this month, you bring on 2 more, that totals 500. Because remember, you have that rolling total. Divide that by 500, you get 1 elite point. So you guys focus on bringing in 2 customers per month to be on track. And I always say, listen, if it were a perfect world, all you'd have to do is bring on 2 customers per month. All you'd have to do is bring on 1 coach per month, 2 coaches here, but it's not a perfect world. People come in and people go out. So you guys focus on bringing in 2 to 3 coaches per month, 3 to 4 even, and focus on bringing 4 to 5 customers per month. All right, because then you'll have a way better chance of at least 2 of them sticking, at least 1 or 2 of them sticking. All right, focus on that. If you're not reaching your goals, I always say, listen, your actions have to be aligned with your goals. If you're not reaching your goals, then you've got to increase your action. All right, all right. If you're not reaching your goals, increase your actions. Your actions have to be aligned with your goals. I have so many coaches that say, Lacey, I want to be 5-star elite. I want to be 10-star. I want to be top 10. And I'm like, okay, are you committed to that goal or are you just interested in that? Because if you're committed, you're going to be doing the work. If you're interested, then you're going to do the work when you have enough time or when life slows down, when things stop changing. My bishop, who's actually the pastor of my church, he's kind of like a pastor or whatever, we call him the bishop. He said, you guys, the only person in life who likes change is a baby with a dirty diaper. Amen to that. It's so true. I hate change. I mean, my Zoom changed, and now you guys are over here in this screen, and I hate it because I can see you out of the corner of my eye, but I have to talk right here. I hate change. But That's the one thing in life you can count on is change. So you have to adapt. You have to grow. You guys, I always say the team that got you to where you are today, unless they're growing, unless they're changing with you, unless they're developing their mind, they're doing personal development, doing their shape, working on themselves, because the team that got you to where you are, they're not going to be the team that gets you to that next level unless they're running with you, unless they're changing. All right. Okay, last category. This is ATV, Advancement Team Volume. ATV, you earn 1 elite point for every 10,000 increase in ATV. All right. Your ATV is Advancement Team Volume. It's volume 3 levels deep. It's volume from your coaches, from their coaches, from their coaches. All right. Volume 3 levels deep. I say, think of your coaches. So it's your personally sponsored coaches. Think of them as your kids. Think of their personally sponsored coaches as your grandkids. And think of their personally sponsored coaches as your great grandkids. It's volume just 3 levels deep. Personally sponsored coaches, kids, their personally sponsored coaches, your grandkids, and their personally sponsored coaches, your great grandkids. Volume 3 levels deep. Say, for example, you ended 2016 with 10,000 ATV. And then this year, you end it with 50,000 ATV. You guys, you have to meet what you did last year. And then for every 10,000 above that, that's where the elite points kick in for this category. All right. So you had 10,000 last year, 50 this year. You went up by 40,000. You had an increase of 40,000 in that 1 year. Divide that by 10,000 and you get 4. Now this is the category where I was like, ATV, XYZ, 3 levels deep, kids, grandkids. Oh my gosh. Ha, ha. Bonnie Engel said it best when she went to NLC. You guys, she was at NLC 2014 as a 2-star diamond. All right, as 2-star diamond. She was listening to all these top coaches present. Fast forward 1 year later, NLC last year, 2015, she was there as a 15-star diamond, a top 10 coach, presenting. She said, NLC is what changed my life. She's like, NLC changed me, changed my business, changed my leadership skills. Larissa, this is going to be you. Larissa's the next Bonnie Engel. No, Larissa's the next Larissa Snaith. She's not anybody else. She's her. I love the quote that says, be you. Everyone else is taken. Larissa is the next Larissa Snaith, who is the top 10 coach. Yes, she is. Okay, so you guys, she said, I went away from NLC. There were so many nuggets. There were so many amazing trainings. But she goes, I was overwhelmed. But I stepped back and I was like, all right, what were 4 of the things every top coach hit on? All the trainings were about. Corporate always talks about what were the 4 things. And she goes, these were it. She goes, this is what I focused on all year long. I went from 2-star to 15-star. And I'm presenting here to you as a top 10 coach. Number 1, she said, hitting Success Club, I made it non-negotiable. I made it non-negotiable for me. Number 2, I helped my coaches hit Success Club. She goes, I too start out with an SC base of 0. I just focused on helping 1 at a time, 1 more than the last month. Number 3, I focus on bringing in new coaches every single month. And number 4, I focus on bringing new customers in every single month, new challengers, running amazing challenge groups. She's like, that's how I became so successful. I focus on those 4 things. Number 1, hitting Success Club, non-negotiable. Number 2, helping my coaches hit it. Number 3, bringing in new coaches. And number 4, bringing new customers. She said, this just happened and I just advanced. My team grew, my volume grew, my income grew. She goes, those 4 things. She goes, I don't even have to think about this because it confused the crap out of me. Focusing on those 4 things, this just happens. This next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Premier Goal Guide tracking sheet. Larissa, I'm going to send this to you along with the recording. You guys print both of these sheets out. This is like the goal guide. This is like the like example, one that you should follow. But this is what I want you to start tracking. Jessica Bauer Nelson did the best wake-up call ever on tracking. She said, once I started tracking my business, it grew by 300%. What you track, you can impact. What you track goes whack. All right? Okay, you guys, think of it this way. Your customers and your challenges say, Larissa, what the crap? These programs don't work. Like, they do not work. I'm working out every single day. I'm pushing play. I'm doing my meal plan. I'm drinking my shake. They don't work. I'm not losing any weight. So Larissa says, all right, so you're push and play every single day. You're doing your workouts. Yeah. You're drinking your shake every single day. Yeah. You're doing your meal plan every single day. Yeah. I'm eating chicken and broccoli and brown rice and sweet potatoes and fruit, and I'm leaving out all the garbage. Okay, are you tracking it with your containers? Well, no, that's too hard. That's too hard. Like, I can eyeball what a red is. I can eyeball what a yellow is, where we all know we want yellow to be huge. I can eyeball what a green and a blue and a orange. I can eyeball that. I know. Start tracking. Okay, I will. Next week. Larissa, these programs are amazing. They work. You guys, what you track, you can impact. What you track goes whack. Start tracking. If you're not tracking right now, start today. Start yesterday. Tracking is so huge. All right? Tracking is so huge. If you're not tracking, you have no idea where you're at. Let me tell you a story. Making the Elite and Premier calls were the funnest calls in the whole entire world to make. They were so much fun. It was so awesome to call through Zoom. And I just like to tell you, our 2017 Premier or Elite coach. You guys, oh my heavens, it is so awesome. We had just scream and shout, and you guys will see the call out video pretty soon. I know it's being made right now. Gives you chills, makes you cry, gives you the feel goods. Let me tell you what the saddest call in the world to make is. When they were 1 point shy of making Elite or Premier. Oh, they cried. I cried. I hated making those calls. You guys, I hated it. It was horrible. Let me tell you why you can stop that. I had a coach that I was working with really, really closely last year. And she's like, Lacey, I just got the Elite report and I'm missing 1 point. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I track this like with the fine tooth comb. She's like, I'm missing 1 point. I'm like, all right, go ahead. Call into customer service. She's like, all right. So she called in. Sure enough, she called me back. And she's like, I was right. She's like, I was missing a point. There was like some kind of little glitch in the system and I was missing a point. You guys, what if one of those coaches who had 134 points, who missed Elite by 1 point, really had 135, but because of the system glitch and because they weren't tracking, they didn't know. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. You guys, we use computer systems. Like, like nothing's perfect. She was only missing one. Like, one's not very many out of 135. But don't let that be you. Who knows if these coaches I had a call that said, you had 134 points. And they were waiting because they knew it was so stinking close. They were waiting. And I told them I would call them no matter if they were or if they weren't. And it was so sad. Like I said, they cried. I cried. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Any questions at all? I'm going to look in the chat. Any questions at all?
No, but your calls with me at the very end were like so cute. We're like sweating it out every single week. Like,
yes,
it was no joke.
No
you guys, though, when I first saw, Bria had introduced me to this like track sheet last year this time, and it was like, I looked at it and it looked like another language to me. Like, these numbers were everywhere. I didn't understand any of it and it overwhelmed me. But when you literally break it down the way that Lacey did and Bonnie did, just the 4 things: you must hit Success Club, find a coach, bring them to Success Club, then find new coaches. I always aim for 3 to 5 every month. That's my goal. If I hit it, great. If I don't, I try harder next month. And then like finding my customers. But that comes with hitting Success Club. And when you hit Success Club, then you have the people to bring on. And so that's all I focused on. I didn't track it because it was too complicated for me. But this year I understand it, and the more exposure you have to these sheets and these numbers, the more it makes sense. So if this is your first time ever seeing it, you're thinking, holy cow. I totally get that. That was me too, because I'm not a numbers person. But the more you see it, now it totally makes sense to me. And I was like, oh, how come I didn't get that? But so it's just a matter of familiarity, right, Lace? Like, I'm totally.
Exactly. I would say that at first. I was like, over my head. Oh my gosh. But then it's like Carl, when he goes, my favorite thing Carl does is like, mind blowing. Now it's mind blowing that it's so easy. But in the beginning, I was like, I literally would have nightmares. But you guys, print the sheet out. Print it out. Ask me questions. I am here to help you grow your team, your volume, your income to advance. Jane, Katie, Catherine, I want to call every single one of you guys and say you are 2018 Premier Coach. Larissa, I'm calling you to say you are 2018 Elite. Right? You guys, you can all do
that
it.
would be crazy.
I love the saying, if not you, who? And if not now, when? Seriously, if not you, who? All these coaches, there was nothing special about them. Nothing. They just didn't give up. They just focused on themselves. They put their blinders on. One of my coaches, I'm like, what did you do last year that you're not going to do this year? And she goes, last year, I compared myself to everybody. She's like, this year, I put my blinders on, and she's like, and I'm going to work. Guys, comparison, that will rob you every single time. It's that Michael Phelps, that picture where the guy like comparing him and Michael's ahead.
Yeah.
He's got his eye on the prize. That just gave me chills. I'll never forget the first time I saw that picture. I was like, that will forever be ingrained in my mind. And that poor dude, he'll always be remembered as that dude. No one knows his name. I have no idea who it was.
You guys know the picture we're talking about? Right? We all know it. It's so true.
Love that
You're
picture.
muted. Yeah.
You guys, I'm gonna let you get going. Seriously, if you have questions, reach out to me, reach out to Larissa, and you guys, and I probably said the exact same thing that Larissa said a million times, but it's different coming from someone else. Seriously, my sister always says to me, Lacey, I tell my kids the exact same thing you tell them once. I've told them like 5 million times. And often they're like, you'll tell them, they'll be like, oh, Aunt Lacey had to do this. And they're like, I want to wring their necks. So you guys, like hearing it from so many different people, like, I'm happy to do team calls whenever. Larissa is the most amazing leader. Oh my heavens, you guys. I work with her all the time, like on a monthly basis, and I just love it. She is at the top. Like I told her last time, I'm like, Jeff Hill wanted to know who our top 20 coaches are, right? Who our top 20 are. I have the potential to work with 3,396. Now, you guys, they're just like coaches and challengers. Like, you guys have a lot of coaches, a lot of challengers, but you work with the willing. You know, I probably work with about 150. Larissa is in the top 20. And you know what? She's not there because of herself. She's there because she has an amazing team and because she's a great leader. So you guys, wow, like she's on my list that I gave to Jeff Hill. He knows her. You're a 2017 Premier team because you can't get there on your own. Every single one of you, I want to make that call to you because it is so, I was sicker than a dog. Remember, Larissa? I was like sneezing, I was coughing. I was like, I sounded horrible. And I was like, I am not missing this day because it was so much fun. I'd sneeze. Seriously, it was the weirdest sickness ever. I would sneeze like 4 or 5 times in a row. And I was blowing my nose and everyone just like, you could tell they're like, why are you here? And I was like, I'm not missing this day. I'll be in the conference room by myself, you know. But it's so funny, guys. Those calls are so much because
But by the time you make those calls, we're all exhausted because we just worked so hard that you called me and it's like night at night and I'm like dying.
I know. I'm like, you guys
have makeup on. God.
I had a coach. She's like, I've had my hair done since 7. And it was like literally like 5 or 6 at night. And she's like, since 7 a.m. I woke up at 5 to do my workout. And then they get ready. And I'm like, you guys, it's torturous that we tell them we're going to call on a certain day because then we don't ever get the report till super late. And I'm like, quit telling them because poor things go crazy because you still don't know until we make that call. Like with Larissa, I was like, Larissa, I'm like, everything looks good. But I'm like, they like scrub your account. They just go through all these like audits and like, I'm like, you're predicted to be Premier, but like you can't really tell until you like make that call. Okay, you guys, love and adore you all. Thank you so much for being on. Have the most amazing Friday. Happy Friday! I love that. Okay, you guys, I will see you soon. And as soon as you reach Diamond, if you're in the Northeast, I'm with you. I'm Diamonds 1 and 2 stars, so cannot wait to see your faces more. Love and adore you all. Catherine, Jane, Katie, I'm calling you guys this year, 2018 Premier Coach. If not you, who? If not no one, Larissa, very elite.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.